President Trump was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, and the two girls that attacked the family, stealing their hat after the pro-Trump rally, well, they've been indicted on hate crime charges. For that and more, stick around.
You're listening to the Paul Procise Podcast.
And now Paul Procise.
Guys, thank you for stopping in. My name is Paul Procise, and I just want to acknowledge a few things. One, there's been a lot of people sending in messages through Facebook, through my website, or contacting me on Twitter. And I just want to acknowledge you and say thank you so much for the support and for the encouragements. Those things mean a lot. And I really, I'm not so big or anything, especially right now, but that I'm not willing to engage with you. So if you have any questions, if you have something that you would like me to cover or anything, just send those things in and I will reach back out to you. I've got multiple people asking me to be involved in projects with them. So I'm exploring those options. And I think this is a very encouraging time. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. It's crazy. We've got 100+ nights over it. Like it's 104. I think today is 105 days of protests, ongoing protests in Portland and Seattle, just constant, all in your face all the time. It's nuts. But I would just acknowledge you and encourage you that there are some good things out there. We're going to cover those things, and I want to stay optimistic through a lot of this. By the way, if you have not like and subscribe this video, wherever you're seeing this, Facebook or YouTube. And if you're listening on a podcast, thank you so much for that. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified when either if I go live or if I post something, you'll get that notification immediately. And I can't thank you guys enough. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's huge. And if we can just get my watch hours up a little bit more, we can hit monetization, and that's kind of a big deal for the things that I'm trying to do, and to be able to monetize all the things that we're doing is a big help for my family and for the things that I'm trying to do here. Would you go ahead and do that? So we are, and my alarm clock is going off for some random reason, and I don't know why. Anyways, so we I have a couple things to cover. First off is kind of a big deal. It is a big deal because if you'll remember, Obama, before he even took office, before he did anything, he was a junior senator from Illinois, and he gets nominated for the Nobel Prize. What the hell did that guy ever do? Nothing. He literally did nothing. He wrote a book, and that was it. And this guy, this made up fantasy of this guy and this wonderful woke ultra communist professor that goes to a black liberation church is all of a sudden winning a Nobel Peace Prize for literally doing nothing ever. Yet this current President Trump, brokers massive peace deals, works on pulling our troops out. Hopefully he gets that done. That would be one of the biggest things if he could pull the troops out of the Middle East and get them back home into not in these perpetual wars for the reasons that we were lied to. We were told that there was weapons of mass destruction, and it was a lie, flat out lie. And we just believed that hook, line, and sinker. One of the biggest, most atrocious things that ever happened. But this guy, President Obama, comes out and gets the Nobel Peace Prize right off the jump. And he had no accomplishments. And I'm not saying that every president should get a Nobel Peace Prize, but if they're doing some really big things, they should at least be nominated. Well, that has happened. So let's look at this screen right here. We'll cover that here in a sec. Nobel Peace Prize, an exclusive interview on Fox News. Trump nominated for Nobel Peace Prize by Norwegian official, citing Israel and UAE peace deal. Now, it is a big deal. It seems to me that the only place that we're seeing these things get any play. Dude, there's something wrong with my camera. What the heck? I like my computer updated, and there's been just like really weird things, and that's in a little box. Anyways, I'll try to get that fixed. All right, so Fox News on an exclusive with this guy, just weeks after helping to broker peace between Israel and the UAE. President Trump has been nominated for 2001 Nobel Peace Prize. Now, politics will be played, and if he wins this, it'll be amazing because he is not loved with the globalists. He's not. The globalist, the ultra left wing that has taken over the majority of governments, the majority of these organizations, do not like somebody that is really pushing for an anti-globalist perspective. And I don't think he has any chance in the world to get that. He'll garner some votes, but he will not. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe he'll get it. Maybe they'll look and say, that last guy, all he did was drone a bunch of people and cause more dissension and caused massive issues and overthrew governments all over the Middle East, funded terrorism. So maybe they'll look at that and say, maybe Obama doesn't need that peace prize, and maybe we should actually give it to somebody that's not doing those things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being silly. For his merit, I think he has done more trying to create peace between nations than most other Peace Prize nominees. And I actually would agree with that. I am agreeing with this. And this is, I did not think when I left the Republican Party, I was a part of that Never Trumper movement. I could not stand and still don't like a lot of the things from Trump. But when I start looking at the accomplishments and the things that are happening, oh, well, that's not Trump. That's his, the department. So you can't take you're going to give credit to Trump for all the bad things, but all the good things, he didn't do that. He is causing all the riots all over the country because of things that he's not involved with. But this that he's been personally involved in, that we know for a fact that the State Department has come out and said, no, he really did help us with these negotiations. Of course, the State Department's vital in these negotiations. That's obviously a known thing. But over and over, we're seeing things that he's accomplishing and doing, and he's not getting the play. Now we're seeing the play, like I said, in Fox News and the conservative outlets, but we're not seeing this on the mainstream media. This is a big deal. I looked around and I didn't see it yet, at least, covered on CNN, MSNBC, all the big guys. Vox, of course. And if they do, they're going to say, oh, they paid this guy to do it. Or some conspiracy will be floated out there, and it'll get like an anonymous quote, and then that anonymous quote will just be run with every news agency. That's the way that these things happen. In his nomination letter to the Nobel Committee, said Trump administration has played a key role in establishment between Israel and UAE. As it is expected, other Middle Eastern countries will follow in the footsteps of the UAE. This agreement could be a game changer that will turn the Middle East into a region of cooperation and prosperity. This is a big deal. The fact that the UAE has really kind of come up into power and they're more affluent, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing in the long run for Middle East, but it has basically put Saudi Arabia in check. It's put a lot of these other Middle East countries saying in Palestine and all of these, like saying, you guys need to follow us at how we're doing things. We're doing it the right way. And it could usher in more peaceful agreements throughout the entire Middle East. It's a really, really, really big deal that this has been accomplished. If it wasn't Trump that did that, whatever, it's still a huge deal. So the key role, President was a key role in facilitating contact between conflicting parties and creating new dynamics in other protracted conflicts, such as the Kashmir border between India and Pakistan. That's a big deal. Now, I actually have a Pakistani friend, and they have gone at length on how crazy that border dispute is and how many people lose their lives and how that long history of that. And he's bringing them to the negotiating table and saying we need to have a better way of doing things. That's a big deal. I mean, and people undermine and try to downplay and minimize President Trump's coordination and efforts to tamp down the North Korea things. Now, obviously, there's more things in flux with the sister coming of power, and so things could be different. But Trump did amazing work in there. So there's just a lot of stuff. I'm just like, man, how are all of these things happening? Indeed, Trump has broken a 39-year-old streak of American presidents either starting a war or bringing the United States into an international armed conflict. We haven't seen that with Trump. We were told going in that he was going to cause all the wars all over the country. What in reality, what we see is the progressives bringing us into war every single time. And I'm putting Bush into that big government progressive mentality. Bush was a progressive. He was technically a Republican, but he was a progressive. He bought into this big globalist, we're going to nation building. And frankly, Obama was a part of that too. He has that mindset that the big progressives they're going to create a utopia for everybody. And Trump has not bought into that bullcrap. That is some nonsense. So, I'm not a big Trump supporter, he said. The committee should look at the facts and judge him on the facts, not on the way he behaves sometimes. And I completely agree with that. That's my big problem. I have a hard time with the way he behaves, talks about and says stupid crap on Twitter. But I'm getting beyond that. I'm really I have to get to the place where I'm judging him for the things that he's doing rather than the things that are distracting. And I honestly believe that's a triangulation. When I look more and more at the things, and I've studied history, and I was involved in politics, the triangulation theory of politics that was masterminded and really done masterfully was by Bill Clinton. And he would say one thing and then do another, get them all focused over here, and he was doing a couple other things. So he would get you freaking out about gay rights. Oh my gosh. Then the right wing would say, oh my gosh, he's going to do these gay right things, blah, 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 blah. And then he passed the gun laws. I mean, like, so I really honestly believe somebody that hung around the Clintons for a very long time, especially through the 90s, was Donald Trump. He learned a lot of this stuff. They had a falling out, obviously, in the 2000s, and they butted heads, and they didn't agree with how things should be going. But I do believe that he learned a lot of the political strategies and political things from the Clintons by observing them and by being around them. So I'm just saying that this is my take on this. Obviously, maybe I'm completely wrong, and let me know in the comments, and let me know wherever you're watching this or listening to me. Let me know. That decision. So in 2009, Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to President Trump for what the Nobel Committee called his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. And he didn't do that. That's a lie. They just made that bullcrap up. That decision was made just 9 months into Obama's first term. Okay, so it was 9 months. So that's correct. I stand corrected from what I said earlier. Was met with criticism in the U.S., including from Donald Trump, then a private citizen. So, yeah, this is a big freaking deal that he is nominated. I don't think he has a shot to get this nomination, but it is a very interesting thing. Man, my phone is buzzing up, and I'm not sure what's going on. I got like 20 messages and nothing. They're just guys being guys texting back and forth. So, all right. So in Delaware, we remember the story of the girls. Where'd it go? Where'd my thing go? In Wilmington, the woman indicted on hate crimes after the viral MAGA hat incident. You remember the 7 or 8 year old boy had his hat stolen? The 2 women were indicted Tuesday. Earlier versions of this story written incorrectly. Okay, so the 2 women seen in a viral video confronting and taking a red hat, MAGA hat, from the supporter was indicted for hate crimes. Now, here's my personal opinion. I don't think hate crimes should be a thing, period. The reason I think that is because I don't think we should be judging people based on their thoughts. A crime is a crime. If you do this, it's a hate-filled crime anyways. Like, all crime is coming from a bad mindset most of the time. And so I think if we parse things out, we start endangering the law. We start making things into more political. And yes, this is politically motivated, targeted in a hate-filled way. But I don't agree with the hate crime aspect of this. That being said, they're being charged with this. The law is the law, and they should have known better. And if you target somebody based on their political beliefs, religious beliefs, or whatever, the identities of whatever they are, that's considered a hate crime, especially in Delaware. So Olivia Winslow and Cameron Amy, both 21 from Wilmington, were indicted by the Newcastle County grand jury on Tuesday on charges of second-degree robbery, second-degree conspiracy, endangering the welfare of a child, good, third-degree assault, attempted third-degree assault, offensive touching, and felony hate crimes. So it's a felony. They're being charged with felony hate crimes, all because of what they did, because they couldn't see past the rage. They can't see that person, that kid, as a human. We're not seeing these people, our opponents. We're calling them enemies. And the media is perpetuating that if this person, they're going to go out and kill a black person, they're going to go out, and you get into this mindset, and you're in your echo chamber, and all you ever see, and you're looking at Vice, and you're looking at Vox, and you're looking at oh my gosh, and Mother Teresa is talking about this horrible racist Republican Democrat, blah, 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 blah. And you see rage, and you see red, and you hate that person that's right in front of you, and you don't see their humanity, and you act out like a moron. And now you're charged with a felony, and you're probably going to go to jail over grabbing some kid's hat because you want to be a bully. You're 21 years old. You're a freaking adult. You should have known better. This stuff is crazy. Now, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more charges like this, more and more. There's 14,000 arrests for the George Floyd protests and the riots. Since it started, there's been over 14,000 arrests. I bet you there's way more than that. And I guarantee you we're going to start seeing hate crime being attached to a lot of these things. They're going to go from misdemeanors to felonies. They're going to go from aggravated assaults or aggravated batteries, depending on what state. Language on things are different. But major crimes are going to be turned into hate because they're targeting people because they're police officers, because they're white, because they're Republican, because they're whatever. And we do see on occasion some of that coming from conservative people, but the latest stats that we've seen is the right-wing extremists, the people that are fighting or in militias, are very minimal. There's maybe 10 to 15,000 across the entire country of those types. That's from the left. That's from the extreme left. The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and SPL, Southern Poverty Law Center. Their best numbers are saying that that's as many as we have. Now, if you look at the riots we know for a fact there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are left-wing extremists now. We know this. This is not anecdotal. This is 100% proof. We can watch the videos every single night. All over there's Rochester, New York going crazy. There's New York City itself going crazy. There's Chicago, and there's thousands and thousands of extremists. And there is some coordination. We know that people are being flown all over the country, very well coordinated, very well funded. So they're just flying around and being agitators. They're paid agitators from the left, the Antifa, the whatever. There's a lot of groups that are paying for these things. We know it. There's a lot of investigations. There's a lot of people that have done the investigations. Go out and find them. They're great people. But there's some crazy things going on. And if you're going out there and you're committing a crime in the name of I'm anti-fascist, but you're going to hit somebody because they're a Trump supporter or because they're a Proud Boy or because they're a Patriot Prayer person. If you do that, you're targeting somebody. That's a hate crime in most places now because it's targeted based on their faith, gender, identity, political affiliation, whatever. We're going to start seeing a lot more of these hate crimes being attached to it because it's the fullest extent. They're almost always a felony, and they're just throwing the book at these people. Oh, they're just young people. No, so many of the people that are being arrested are in their 30s and 40s. So they're not just young people. There's a lot of young people being arrested too, students, but there's teachers, there's professors, there's lawyers, all over the place. They know what they're doing. They know that they're a part of an organized leftist group. They're targeting people on purpose. They're hitting and punching and maiming and killing people with hate. And now they're being charged with hate crimes. Like I said, I don't personally like the idea that we're prosecuting based on ideas in people's heads. I don't like that, but if you can prove it, it's the law of the land. We're going to see a lot more of it. It's going to come more and more and more. Guys, would you do me a favor? Would you like and subscribe this video or on Facebook, on YouTube especially? We're trying to get some stuff going on YouTube so we can get monetization. So if you could head over there and like that. If you're listening on a podcast, again, thank you so much for that. That's a huge help. Please share this. Please get this out there. Would you do that for me? There's all kinds of things in the links of ways you can support me or find me. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Parler, Locals, all those things. Just find me. My name is Paul Procise. Guys, you guys have a great day. We're going to do some great things. I'm excited. I know you're excited because you're engaging with me and sending in letters and talking to me. That really does excite me, and I can't thank you enough for that. Guys, we can do better. We don't need to be attacking people. We don't need to be doing these things. But I'm gonna bring the news to you. I'm gonna make you aware. We're doing some good things here. I'm glad you're a part of it. Again, my name's Paul Procise. You guys have a great day. Bye.